What's up guys, it's Cam coming at you from the 2-6. Welcome back to Carolina Fragrance Reviews. Today's video is a highly requested video about beast mode fragrances. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna break this down into 5 and make it like a few different videos. That way you can get like a nice variety over a little spread of time. These fragrances have great projection, 10 hours, plus some of them like way plus. So without no further ado, let's get into the beast mode. So it just so happens that my collection is pretty heavy for like the colder weather fragrances, which I just really can't figure out because we don't get a lot of cold weather, but those are the type of fragrances that I like. And a lot of times you do get really good performing colder weather fragrances. These all are going to be ones that you might want to go ahead and start putting your money away for, because depending on where you live, now if you're like up in Minnesota or something, yeah, you can probably go ahead and get away with these. But like the Mason-Dixon line and below, some of us might not even get to wear these fragrances. So I'm gonna kick this list off with a designer. It's actually a beloved designer by most people. I have actually personally ran into somebody here recently that didn't really like this fragrance, but nevertheless, it's still a popular fragrance that has insane performance, projection, sillage, all the above. It is Armani Code Profumo. This one is very, very sweet. It also has like a seductiveness about it. The dry down on it is absolutely magical. In my personal opinion, you can get away with wearing this for like date night, especially like, like on those cold, brisk evenings, like just hanging out by a fire, or like I said, going out on a date, just taking a long walk through the woods, with your boo thing or something like that. I think this would work great for that. Don't overspray this though, because this one actually can almost get a little bit like cloyingly sweet if you overspray it. This is the code that actually has like the root beer or fizzy cola vibe in it that's, pretty notorious. A lot of people talk about that. It's definitely present in that opening, kind of got that fizzy or sparkle on the top of it. But as it dries down, it really gets rather thick, and especially if you overspray, so go easy on the application. Some of the notes in this are amber, tonka, and leather. And just like I said, just like for the amount of performance, 10 plus hours, it's like somebody just dropped a little Viagra in here and it just keeps going. Next fragrance comes from a brand that is pretty well known for pretty beastly fragrances, and the majority of the ones that I have do have excellent performance. And some of you might argue with me as far as like the 10 hours on this, but I do get 10 hours. It is Red Tobacco. I have seen people say that they get 8 hours, 9 hours. To me, even if you get 8 hours, I still feel that that is worthy of calling it beast mode, especially with the projection. The first 30 to 45 minutes of this fragrance is over the top. It is like all the notes in there just kind of like having like a bunkhouse stampede or a battle royale or whatever you want to call it. They're just in there just like, oh, no, I'm taking front. No, I'm taking front. Like, no, you get in the back. And yeah, just a lot going on the opening of this fragrance. Some people hate the opening on this fragrance. I don't hate it, I don't love it, but I know what it dries down to. The dry down is really, really good. And I don't know of anybody that has said that like the projection or performance of this fragrance sucks. Now, some people aren't crazy about it, but I think it's really, really good. I happen to be a fan of Mancera, and this is one of my more favorite ones. So some of the notes in this are gonna be nutmeg, pear, oud, vanilla, and obviously tobacco. So yeah, just kind of a wild concoction that has really nice mids, really nice dry down. This fragrance is not linear at all. It's just evolution all the way through. And on my skin anyway, 10 plus hours. As I said, anything like additional over 8 hours, in my opinion, is beastly. This fragrance is definitely going to be more geared for the cooler or colder weather. After this one dries down, the projection does come back in a little bit, so it's just not like punch, 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 punch. But yeah, you can still get away with wearing this in the fall. Just don't like walk straight into wherever you're going after you've sprayed this, and don't go ham on the applicator on this one either. Next fragrance just might be my absolute strongest fragrance in my collection. If not, it's going to be definitely in like the top 3. It is from Mason Francis Kurkdjian. This one is Oud Satin Mood. This is that fragrance that people absolutely adore or absolutely hate. It's a fragrance that takes a little getting used to. I actually did a full review on this. I'll just go ahead and leave the link right here. I recently got somebody that left a comment about it, and it was kind of a conversation as to it being masculine or not being masculine. This is definitely unisex, but definitely a manly fragrance if you have the confidence. Confidence would be the word that I'm looking for. If you've got the confidence, swagger, whatever, to wear this fragrance. This is a very, very strong fragrance to wear in cold weather. Cold weather only, in my opinion anyway. This one can get really, really like almost like sticky sweet, especially if you overspray it. 1-2 sprays tops is all you're gonna need for that 12 plus hours of longevity. Like a 2.5 to 3 hour, like strong sillage. As a matter of fact, there's been a couple of times when I've worn this fragrance and got it in my clothes, and it stayed in my clothes for maybe 2-3 washes, and I used OxyClean and the Tide Pods and little crystal bombs, whatever I can put in there. If it still was sticking in the fabric after that, yeah, that should tell you something. This one has violet, rose, amber, oud, and vanilla. Primarily, you are going to get a little bit of that violet, especially at the top, but mostly it's just like rose and oud and vanilla, and the vanilla is going to be a very sweet vanilla. So I don't know how you guys are about like oud and rose fragrances. This, in my opinion, is a little bit easier to wear than some of the other oud and rose fragrances that I have owned or own. Strangely enough, this was like an instant love for me. And like I said, it's a very divisive fragrance, so definitely sample before you buy. But if you're looking for that beast mode, this is about as beastly as it gets. As opposed to this one taking like one Viagra, it took the whole prescription. It's the Energizer Bunny that just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. Next fragrance should be easy to find in your collection if you have it, with the noisy little pin for your Spice Bomb Extreme. And this is one fragrance that actually lives up to the extreme. Sometimes you'll see intense or extreme or something like that on a fragrance and it not really be kicked up. This one really lives up to the extreme. This one also is 10 plus hours. This is another one that some people might argue with me about the, that performance that I'm talking about. I have seen where people have said, 8-9 hours, something like that. Mine is 10 plus hours. No problem. This is a very, very spicy fragrance that is in your face, especially like the first 30 to 45 minutes. You've got some black pepper, tobacco, vanilla. This one has some sweet vanilla, some spicy black pepper, and also some tobacco as some of the notes. This is actually one of the most beloved fragrances to wear around fall and winter time. It has become a major staple for many, many people. And it is a little bit harder to get sometimes, especially like if you're checking at discounters. Just keep your eyes open at the discounters, because this one does get a little expensive if you're checking, eBay or paying full retail. Discounters, this one is the smaller bottle. I think it's like the 2.5 or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, 80, 90 bucks even for some of these in this size I've even seen. So just be smart, be thrifty. You'll find it, but it definitely projects. I know some ladies don't really like this, and I've also got a hell of a lot of compliments from others. So just, know that your skin is different for projection and performance, and know that the different types of ladies you're around are going to like or dislike certain fragrances. So if you're just looking to be beastly and don't care what anybody thinks, Spice Bomb Extreme might be your pick. Now, last but not least is an amazing fragrance that has excellent performance, excellent sillage. I mean, it's just like the total package. In my personal opinion and through my personal experiences, it is, of course, my secret weapon, Byrd from Nasomatto. Who would have thunk that a musky, woody, boozy fragrance would be so freaking sexy? This is absolutely, easily one of my most complimented fragrances, and those compliments will come all day. This fragrance just keeps going and going and going and going. I have even seen people, fuss a little bit about the prices of Nasomatto. Here's another pro tip for you. Yes, they do sell for more full retail, but I'm even seeing some of the, like Max Aroma, for example. I have seen some of the Nasomattos go there for, 100, 110, 115. There's not a Nasomatto in my collection that I paid any more than $100. Now, yes, these are 30 ml, but it is extrait de parfum, so you're going to get like the strongest concentration. And out of the Nasomattos that I own outside of Black Afghano, this is easily the best performing one and the most mass appealing, sexy one that I can wear, even with lighter application when it's a little cooler, and I can do that full spray 2-3 times and make sure I chill at the house for at least a good 30 minutes before I'm, head out, because when you first spray this, especially, that whiskey note might even, come off as like you've had a little something to drink. Without a doubt, 10+ hours on longevity, very good sillage, and then as it dries down, that mix of, it's got like ambrette, it also has some ambroxan. I mean, I'm not talking about like screechy ambroxan. I think they really skillfully put that in here together with the woods and the musk and the whiskey, and like I said, like the ambrette and the ambroxan. Just a wow factor fragrance if there's ever been one. Ladies absolutely adore this one. So like I said, I do have a lot of beast mode fragrances, especially for like fall and winter, mostly winter. So figured just go ahead and bust them up into 5s for you, so you get a little more variety a little more often, since you guys are so beastly about the beast mode. Check that subscribe button down below. If it's red, turn it gray, hit your notifications to all. Let me know what your favorite beast mode fragrance is. Until next time, I'll see you on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.